AFMC is really known.
And also make sure
Hello and welcome into this week's edition of AFMC TV. We're glad you're joining us. You know, typically the holiday season is a happy season, but that isn't always the case. And joining me today to talk about how the holidays can affect people is Dr. Chad Rodgers, our medical director. Hi, Dr. Chad. How are you?
I'm doing well. Thanks for having me back.
Thanks for being here. So, how do the holidays, what kind of impact can they have on people? Because while it is the most wonderful time of the year, it isn't always for everyone.
Right. So it is a time where we become so much more aware of that very fact, because if you're not merry or happy, then and you feel like everybody else is, it really kind of adds to that whole that you're alone. Yes. And the fact is, you're probably not alone. In fact, most of the population experiences some sort of anxiety related to the holidays, or some sort of decline in mood or depression even, or exacerbation of, sort of those things if you already kind of deal with them. So you're not alone during the holidays, although we feel very alone because, we do tend to spend a lot more time indoors, trying to stay warm and trying to stay away from other people. And plus also, for other people, the holidays can just be really depleting. If you're not a person who thrives on being with people all the time, it can wear you out. So it's not always the happiest of seasons for people. And I think we all kind of need to be kind of conscious of that.
So while we know it can impact our mental health, it can also have an impact on our physical health too. And talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, so you have to kind of think too, just knowing that mental effect overall, it affects your physical health just because you do release a lot of stress hormones when you are stressed or we are feeling down. So those have a lot of effect on your blood sugar and on your blood pressure. We also all pick up some bad habits during the holidays. This is a time of the year we kind of let things go. We tend to eat a little bit more. We tend to eat things that are not as good for us. We tend to drink a little bit more. We also tend to be a little less active and not do those things that we normally do to stay healthy. We kind of lose that routine because the holidays do get busy. There is vacations. There is school being in and out. Yeah. So there's a real disruption to routine, which is not a bad thing. But if you're a person who kind of depends on that to maintain your kind of health routine, that could be very disruptive.
Talk about the ever popular lack of sunlight right now, because that too, and of course, seasonal affective disorder. That could be a whole other show.
Yeah.
But not having that big ball of fire shining, that can leave one feeling kind of melancholy.
Yes, very much. And so seasonal affective disorder is called SAD. It is that season. So it is because of the time change and because the days are getting shorter. You're not getting exposed to as much of sunlight, which is actually very, very important for lots of your bodily functions, but it also has an effect on a lot of hormones in your body that kind of can affect mood. So it's a real important time of year to try to get that sunlight in when you can. So whereas work kind of sometimes interferes with your kind of getting outside, trying to schedule a little bit of time at lunchtime or during the day when the sun's at its peak to try to get out and get some sunlight. For kids, definitely getting out during the day because we are keeping them in more at night since it's cold and dark. Yeah. It's real important to kind of your overall health.
And just because it's cloudy outside, not an excuse to, the sun's not out, I guess I need to stay in.
Right. Mm-mm. Just like it's not an excuse to not wear sunscreen in the summer because you're still getting UV rays through the clouds. And those are the things that kind of help you with those, with the kind of the awake and darkness kind of phases of the day, but also with all those kind of hormone production that kind of help you stay happy and healthy.
And we know too, even just a quick walk around the block, even
fresh
if it's
air.
Cloudy, that can be a good pick-me-up.
Yeah. Get the blood flowing, get the muscles moving. Really helpful for your overall mood.
So how can we stay mentally healthy, physically healthy after the holidays? Because we have this big buildup, this big crescendo, and then it's January 2nd, January 3rd, January 4th, and we're coming off that high.
Right.
And by January, 12th, 14th, well, there's another gym membership I'm not going to use. So it's even post-holiday, you can spiral.
Right. And that this kind of begins the spiral. And then when you start to feel down, it's hard to get back up.
Yeah.
But I think, the main thing, and if you think about the purpose of the holidays and being off work and family and friends, it's that sense of connectedness. So that's really our goal. That's what people really want during the holidays, is to feel connected. Yeah. Going to a party with 50 people may not be sort of your, idea of a good time or a way to feel connected, where you're just kind of having small conversations. You're also exposing yourself to a lot of stuff. You're also going to a party where there's high calorie food and perhaps some drinking.
Sure.
So I think, the idea of really kind of playing your holiday, you don't have to make it to every holiday party. You don't have to stay at every holiday party, but making some time to connect with people that are really important to you. I think we all sat at home the last 2 holidays and really thought about the people in our life that are most important to us. And, those are new traditions that we need to carry on and we need to maintain. So trying to be with those people who fill us up. And not drain us, because family can be draining, and we all have friends that drain us. And so I think the other thing during the holidays is some self-care, and that involves putting some boundaries. So that may mean that you only go home for one day at Thanksgiving. You're going to have the meal, and then you're going to go and be with someone who fills you up, as opposed to those people who drain you in your life. That's a little bit of a hard lesson for some of us, and sometimes it's a hard lesson for our families, but it's real important for self-care. I think the other thing is, nutrition is still so important. Hydration. We tend to drink too much during the holidays. There's lots of fun seltzers, flavored waters that are available now. So if you have one drink, then have one seltzer. It's still kind of seasonal and fun. And make sure you're getting plenty of rest. Sleep is so important to your overall, not just your mental health, but physical health. And we tend to kind of get a little sleep deprived, even so it's so dark. Or else our sleep patterns get off, because it does get dark. We come home, we take a nap, and then we don't fall asleep well at night. We get disrupted through the night. So sleep hygiene is so important.
I love you just briefly touched on that self-care. And that may be something that you don't want to let slip during the holidays. If you're used to getting a massage, or used to getting a facial, or used to just spending a random Thursday night in an Epsom salt bath at home. Continue to do that. And continue to take care of yourself. Don't just let that go by the wayside because it's the holidays.
And even though you may routinely do a 30-minute run or an hour run, or you may go on that walk or ride the cycle, even if you get on for 12 to 15 minutes, there's still some benefit. It's not all lost. You may not have as much time, but still try to find some time to do that. I think the other thing is, before you go to those parties, eat a salad, or eat a half a sandwich, or eat something that some
have
hummus.
An avocado.
Have an avocado is a great snack, and my favorite snack.
Yeah, mine too.
Don't have the whole avocado, but have some of the avocado. Avocado toast. Have a little bit of that before you go somewhere. That will cut your appetite. It will give you some healthy meals. It will prevent you from overeating, and may help kind of maintain some good nutrition through the holidays.
Because what a win, both mentally and physically, if you could come out of the holidays still the same size. Your waistline hasn't changed.
That's right. If you could just maintain.
That would be lovely. Well, Dr. Chad, is there any other takeaway on just getting through these final few weeks of 2022 and then into 23?
Yeah, I think as we're looking at going into the new year and beginning to make those resolutions and thinking about that and ending up this year, you got to think about financial health too. So, be real careful about overspending. It's a time of the year where we all tend to spend a little too much on ourselves and on others, but then we have all that debt waiting for us. And that stress of that debt can really work on your nerves, work on your health.
Sure.
So, being kind of conscious, staying within, again, people want to be together. I don't care about your gift. I want to hang out with Michelle. So kind of know that that's sort of the gift that you give during the season, and that you gift it to yourself. It's not bad to be selfish during the holidays. You got to do some self-care in order to stay healthy.
Love it. All right, Dr. Chad, thank you.
Yeah.
And Merry Christmas and Happy New Year.
Merry Christmas and Happy New Year.
And thank you so much for joining us. We'll see you back here next week for more AFMC TV.